Oh. Hey Siri, I don't want to receive phone calls right now. Maybe that'll do it.
How to spot ADHD.
Sorry, y'all. Good morning, everybody on the YouTube. You're getting a little bit of, I'd like to say, unfettered access, but it's mainly that I hit the button too early. So I'm just going to let some folks join and get everybody else set up. Well, my wrist has been bad, so I want to make sure, always make sure to take care of your tools. And my hand, definitely one of my tools. Ugh, fuzzies on me. Oh, I guess I can turn this off and move it though. For you. Add a live goal. Let's do it. Riding my pony. We're going to see how well this do not disturb thing goes. Good morning. Let me see. I just need to get y'all in a better position. Here we go. That's a little better. Okay. Just making sure I can still see. And then boop. Live. Okay. I think I got everybody. There we go. That's better. Okay. Woo! Oh, let me turn this down. This feels like it's still a little too loud. Hang on. As much as I love this song. Okay. And I got some new needles in that I want to try. So I'm going to change my needle real quick. I'll wait for folks to show up. Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Yep, there we go. Okay. As soon as I find my screwdriver, there it is. Ignore the chaos in the background. That's just Charlie running around. I always recommend holding your needle when you start to unscrew it from here. You don't want it to fall into your machine. Okay, I'll set them aside for a moment. I just got these needles, and it came in this cute little case. But because it's a brand new brand, I want to make sure that's right. Okay. Make sure that I'm putting it in right and that it works. Let's see. Okay, so for industrial machines, you want to make sure your little divot is pointing in. Good morning, Logan. Let's see. And if you're not sure if you remember which way, you want the divot towards. So it's kind of making an opposite. So you have the throat and then the divot. So it's kind of making a circle in there. Keep hearing a beeping. I don't know if it's just a fever dream or something's beeping. I mean, it might be the eggs. Oh, I hope those didn't explode. Okay. It moved it a little bit. Also, you want to make sure when you're screwing it in that it doesn't move the needle. So sometimes what I like to do is, there we go. There we go. I use a screwdriver to hold, or not screwdriver, pliers to hold it in place. Okay. I'm going to put that needle right there. I'm going to find a random scrap. This is too big of a random scrap. Hang on, I've got scraps somewhere. Here we go. This'll do. Okay, this'll do. Okay, whenever you get something new for your machine, you should always test it out. Hi, Mila. How is Sweden? I hope it's nice there. I'm not sure what time it is. It's got to be, let's see, Sweden. I think you're like 12 hours opposite. So, dang, it's late. What you doing up? Let's see. All right. Come here, you. So I've had someone from Sweden now, someone from Germany. I had someone from Australia. Love the thought of the country, hate the thought of all the dangers. Y'all do not have a good press release on that. But anything you get new for your machine, like if you decide to, oh, good. So 2:30 in the afternoon. That sounds about right. Okay, so just adjusting my world clock in my head. But anytime you get something new for your machine, or it's a brand that you haven't tried out, you really should test it. I really should also turn on my machine. Changing your needle when the machine is off is a good idea. Okay. Especially if you have animals that like to walk on your walking foot. All right, let's see. Ooh, nice. Okay, so far so good. And I'm just going to slide this piece under. I like testing the needles, see how much they can do. Sorry, I heard another beeping. I think it's the eggs. I'm making ramen tonight, so I want to make sure that I have some eggs soaking later. But I forgot to make them last night, so making them in a hard-boiled egg machine. Yep, I think we have a good needle. Oh, that's good, because I got 100 needles in this little case for my machine for $15. So it took a little bit of time to get to me, but definitely worth it, because I was on my last needle and I really should have changed 3 projects ago. Stitching's nice. Yeah, I think we've got good needles. Nice. Okay. So, good job, me. Are these the spent? They should be the spent. Yep. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to dispose of sewing needles. So, I've just been recollecting them in their little case. But I made sure to put an X on it so that I would remember which ones were used. But yeah, it came in this case, and they come tend to a pack. Look at all those needles. I am set. I'm trying to get better. When I bought these, I decided that I was going to work on changing my needle more often. I am very bad about changing my needle. And I want to say, oh God, somebody has these little stickers that you can put on your machine. Maybe it's a laminated sticker so that you can tell yourself when you changed out your needle last. Because you really should be changing out your needle at least every 4 or 5 projects, depending, of course. Oh, these go in here, though. These go in my little drawer. It's starting to get full. All right, so that little experiment is done. Yeah, that worked nicely. Okay, so we are going to finish up the wallet we started on Wednesday. There's nothing inside here but a shaping block. In fact, I'm even caught up to that point with the other 7. So I have 7 wallets here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They all have a block in them. They're all B grade blocks, except one. I need to see if that one's good for me to ship out, and one that kind of didn't finish printing. So I use them. I knew I forgot to grab something. I forgot to grab my snack. But I just ate breakfast. I don't know why I'm hungry so soon. Okay. But enough about the other 7. So I've got this all set. Like I said, one of the things I really love about this pattern, I feel like I have, nope, wrong way. There we go. One of the things I really like about this pattern is that you get this really, really, what feels like the most intimidating part of this wallet done. And then you're able to close it up and really get an idea of what you're making and how it's going to look when it's finished. And I think this really can spur somebody on. This can make them go, wow, I'm already this far. It already looks this good. Or you can see where you need to improve, obviously, but you got this done. Well, you know what? Let's just finish it now. I feel like it just pushes you to finish it. Yes. Oh, okay. Oh, good. I thought there was a pinch. So now what we're going to work on. Hang on a moment. Why are you eating? No, stop yelling at me. It'll be fine. The eggs didn't explode, so we're good. Anyways, so we've got the outside done. Now we're going to work on the inside. So let me put that aside for the moment. And for the inside, we need our 4 dividers that we have. I've got mine in half, but first I fold them in half and then mark a little place. And then the directions have you trim off 2 on the same side and then 2 on the other side. That's going to help in the bulk of the side of it. You will also need, let's see, you'll need zipper tabs, which I think I have somewhere, as well as your zipper pocket. I go ahead and fold up my where she has you fold up the seam and glue it at the table, because I feel like it's silly not to just go ahead and do it at the table real quick where I'm already doing all of my prep work. You'll also need a zipper pull, and like I said, zipper tabs. So I don't need that quite yet, so I'm going to set that aside. And then we will also need our inside. which normally I glue the ever-loving crap out of this, but this didn't want to take the glue very well. So it's just going to be kind of fiddling with it when the time comes. But yep, so, and then you'll need your inside piece. Morning, Deborah. Morning, Cynthia. Now finish up the wallet today. All right. So dividers, zipper pocket, background. Morning, Angel. Angel, yes, for the inside, they asked if I use quilting cotton for the interior. Yes, I do like using a thin cotton for the insides because you really want to make sure that a lot of stuff is thin. For the card slots, I used a broadcloth, which is really, really thin, like super duper thin. I really like a good broadcloth. For my card slots, they like to stick. Oh my God, what is that beeping? There's like beeping in the background. Sorry. That they also fold nicely without adding a lot of bulk. No, Cynthia, don't go to work. Work call. Today is a watch Liz sewing day. At least till the afternoon. But this one, this is supposed to be a waterproof canvas, but it's kind of a weird waterproof canvas. It still feels like a cotton, but it does not like glue. It doesn't like glue the way I normally do glue. All right. 2 times every 3 months. Okay, well, you know, if you're only working that many times. Oh, I can take these clips off. So when I fold down my card slots, which I do have a video for doing these on the tubes, I put glue on the sides and then just pinch it closed. That way when they're ready, as you can see, they're not popping off. They're going to here because I don't go over a certain center, but yeah. Ta-da. Yes, I interface the interior. Actually, good. I can show you. So like for the card slots, I do about 2 inches shorter than the full length of the card slots. That sounds about right. And then my slip pocket back piece that you start with, it only has the seam allowance. It's like about a 1/2 inch from the top. See? That way all I have to do is fold that over. I do the interfacing that she asked, the interfacing piece for this. The dividers get that little tiny piece. And then I interface the outside of the zipper pocket. It's hard to see, but it's not all the way to the bottom. It's just that I have that folded up around that. You can purchase one of my wallets at chubbybunnystudios.com. These currently are being made for Dragon Con for that convention. However, if you contact me, I do have a customs waiting list that once I'm done with Dragon Con, like the actual convention itself, then I'm going to start on customs and stuff. There's just no way to do customs right now and prepare for Dragon Con. I am still not ready. Let's see. Mrs. Toe, this is not SF101. I don't feel like it has enough body to hold up the card slots at least. I use 809. And what I'm able to do is cut one strip of the 809 because it's 45 inches wide. And in that one strip, I can get both card slot pieces these pieces and my zipper pocket pieces. There we go. Oh my Lord, my brain just like, but I like to make sure. Oh, and these are not interfaced. These card slot sides, these don't get interfaced. The only thing I don't follow for her interfacing is the suggestions of what kind of interfacing. Because I use Decaville Heavy, and sometimes like this is Decaville 71, or this is the Pellon 71F. It doesn't have any glue on it. And I just kind of, I do a little spray glue to get it sit on there, and then I just wrap around. Usually I use a crap ton of the stick glue to wrap it. But boy, this does not like to do so. So I use double-sided tape, and it worked much better than trying to fight with the glue. There's a beeping, and I think it's the eggs. I just want them to stop beeping. Oh, no, I took out my ruler. There you are. Okay. So when you fold them up, it's going to look like they're too short, like they're real close together. And I had to wrap my head around this because I'm used to the NCW that gives a lot of room. But the cards do fit nicely. Like they line up with the top. So they do fit. It just feels like they're not going to fit. The problem is I don't use the same measurements as her. I just kind of go with how I feel. How, I measure with my heart. Mainly, I just make sure everything's lined up straight, and then that the card fits, which is why I have my little card helper here, which is 3D printed. Somewhere around here, I have ones that are 3D printed with my name. I just don't know where I put them. Oh, too much stuff. Okay. Where is this pen? All right, checking all the notes. So, card slots are what you're going to want to start with first. This is actually one of the few patterns that I go in the order that the pattern creates. Hang on a second. What is beeping? What is that? Are you done? Are you... I just want ramen eggs. Okay. It's the sad part about having really good hearing. You can hear random noises everywhere. Okay, so I got my coffee, my cards. But yeah, this is one of the few patterns that I actually do everything in order-ish. Because I do all the folding, all the prep work at the table, and that way when I come to here, it's y'all are the best. I will start to work on that. Thank you. Just make sure I didn't miss any other questions. All right, I think we're good. Good there. Good morning, those that are joining. Okay, so I need to make a little sticker for him that's dry erase that says what we're working on. But then I was like, well, it'll be backwards. So I have to write it backwards or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. So I have my card slots. Open that up because we are so optional. You can top stitch your card slot tops. Because of this pattern, I don't anymore. She's just like, just go on with your bad self. Just keep going. No reason to stop the top stitch. I'm like, okay. And every time I get a new pattern, I try to do it the way that it's written. Lately, that's just not been working out for me. Okay, so I'm finding my center by going in halfway. So mine are already cut down. I cut mine to 8 automatically. She has another measurement, and then you cut it down to her measurement. So I have mine down to 8 because I don't like wasting too much fabric. So I go in 4 from one side and then 4 from the other side. This way, if it's a little bigger than 8, like if somehow I cut it a little weird, then I still have an actual center mark. I'm still going to go up one side of that mark and come down the other side. So there's one marked. Thought I heard a kitty cat. Alrighty. 2, 3, 4. It also helps if your marking pen has thicker like tips and stuff. Where do you get your pattern? Oh yeah, it's Maggie55. If you go into my bio, you'll see my link tree, and in the link tree it has today's pattern. I started doing that a couple of months ago, and that seems to help a lot so that if folks aren't 100% sure how to find the pattern, it's really easy to do so. Because sometimes pattern sites are not, businesses are not like spelling their site the way they spell it everywhere else. Sometimes it's just what they can get. The pens I use, as you can see, they have a really high, a long tip. And let me see if I can, there you go. I really do find that extremely useful with how long that tip is, because the tip is longer than most rulers. So it goes right to it. And it means that I'm not being forced outside like some pens are. So I really do like these. These should be in my Amazon shop. Plus, you get a whole bunch of them. Let's see. So I've got that marked. I've got that marked. We're good to go. Now, what we're going to do, I've got my machine set. I got my new needle. I'm going to start just about a hair's. I'm going to actually start right on where the last pocket ends. So right here. And I'm doing that mainly because my machine does not like uninterfaced fabric. It does not. It just doesn't. So if I start here and then go back to back stitch to lock that in, it doesn't do as bad. I go a smidge past my slip pocket line. So this top fold here. And I'm going right next to my line, about, I guess maybe 1/8. Looks like about 1/8. And then going down the other side 1/8 of an inch from my stitch line. This means that I don't have to back stitch on the folds, but it'll hold. So it's got that extra stitch there anyways. Yeah, they should be. Should be the operative word. How many times did I have to put my fuser there? My zap stick. Because Amber from Court, the crafty reporter, she calls her lighter a fire stick. That makes me laugh. I'm just doing that again. There we go. Right it. You can either go right up to that fold line or right past it. Honestly, if you want, you can sew them together. It's just going to sew that to the back. It's not that big of a deal. Can you sew with neoprene? I have not tried sewing neoprene. I have done cotton lycra because I've done a bag or two with it. I do not like doing bags with cotton lycra. I don't like the stretch. But that's a personal preference. With neoprene, I want to because that's kind of what this stuff is made out of. And there is a chance I am working on a pattern for these so that you can make your own. But it would definitely have to be with like I would probably say it would end up being done with lycra. But with neoprene, I think I can sublimate on it. So, yeah, because I've got nothing else to do. I can just sit here and make another pattern. It would be a very simple pattern. I'm trying to think of a way to not have to do that tiny ass circle bottom because it is my issue with the OG H2O. I don't like the OG H2O because I hate that tiny oval. Oh, that tiny oval makes me mad. Makes me so mad. Oh, so you can see. So what I did was I went right down. I put one of the middle parts of my feet right on the line and went up. And then when I went back down, I went 1/8 from it. This way it's not, the box isn't as off centered as it could be if, yeah, that works out nicely. Yep. Back there, same distance. And I'm gonna have to get the lighter, not lighter. I have to get the iron going here in a few minutes, which is going to be fun because I still need to buy one of those little wool pressing mats. There it is. Good God, words. Yeah, it's just this little circle that would drive me nuts. And a way to kind of flatten it out because the binding on it isn't bad, but I just don't have any time right now to even go with it. Okay, so I've got those. Now what I need to do is get my little baby cutting mat. Boop. And this, ow. So you want this to be the same length as your pieces. Yeah, that's why I was like, a 2-pack would be great. I can pick one apart. It's still in its little case. Where's you? There you are. Okay, so with it folded in half, I know pretty much. So say if your pieces are 8 inches, you would then need to cut it, fold it in half at 4 inches. Or you can pull the whole thing out if you have a big enough ruler for it. I just have my wee little ruler here. Just making sure. And you're pretty much just going to be trimming off like the tiniest bit. Sorry. I'm drinking my coffee too fast. It's a day where it came out really nice, delicious. Because I don't really measure how much stuff I put into it. It is the same stuff: almond milk, sugar-free chocolate syrup, and then a flavored syrup. If you want to start putting almond milk into your coffee or that for iced coffee, and you like, I use a lot, like it is half and half. It is half coffee, half my almond milk mixture that I make. So I put my almond milk in a shaker and just shake it up really good. It seems to make the milk a little bit more creamy. It aerates it some, and it comes out less like I'm adding water, because almond milk isn't milk. It's just water. It's almond water. So alrighty. I need this, and I need this, and I need this. So I've got my ruler, my pen, and my sides. I cut my sides wider by, I think, about half an inch, just to give me a little bit more room to maneuver if I need it. All right, so I'm going to mark my seam allowance, which is 3/8. Where are you at? And because my fabric isn't directional or anything, I don't really have to worry about it. But if you have directional fabric, then you want to make sure you do 2 on the left and 2 on the right. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I'm glad to be cooking tonight. I didn't feel good the last couple of nights, so we had takeout. When I say takeout, last night was a pizza from Sam's Club, and don't anybody judge me, because I know it's garbage pizza, but it's actually pretty good garbage pizza. It is not gourmet, but it is delicious. And it doesn't make me sick afterwards, so. Okay, so I've got my mark. I'm going to put that here. Get in the cauldron. 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sometimes I count out my clips or my pins because it makes it. It's a completist thing. Might also be my OCD. I don't know. It's when I start to hyper focus on things. It helps me feel accomplished. But I use these longer ones. I need to put these in my Amazon store too, because I do like them. I know they're not as pretty as rainbow ones, and I want to get some rainbow ones. It's just sometimes I have to choose between pretty rainbow clips and another yard of vinyl, which I might have to put in a vinyl order here soon, because I've got somebody who wants some Grogu, really, really cute Grogu vinyl. And I need to get that design done, and I need to get another design done, and I want to try to do a cut and sew with the bitty bugs, because I love the thought of just like sitting there and watching TV and just cutting them out. See, it looks like okay, there we go. So now with a thin fabric like this, I'm going to pull down my stitch length. It's going to help it not bunch up. If you find that your fabric or that when you're sewing on an industrial is bunching up, definitely lower your stitch length if you can. Most of the time you should be able to because it's fabric that does that. Because see, like here, that's pinched. That's pinched because it's a longer stitch length. So it hops huge and then pulls back. So with that, if you do shorter stitches, then it's hop and then it kind of tugs a little bit, but it's not as noticeable. I thank you. Yes, I think especially for um you know, especially for those bitty bugs. I mean, I would definitely love. Yeah, I see where that went. I would definitely love just like an 18-inch roll of them to just sit there and cut them out and not have to worry about anything. Um, like do an 18-inch roll of that and an 18-inch roll of like a Theratex or something for the lining because you really don't need lining for it if you don't want. Um, like my production style ones, I do HTV vinyl, heat transfer vinyl, so that I'm not having to sit there and worry about it. I still have to kind of I still have a process in my head for that I need to work on. Let's start. This really can come together quickly once you get the nuances of it down and you understand. Oh, just nice these. What you have to do, like turn on your iron. Come here, iron. Oh no, don't be playing some Tony Braxton now. Going down and break my heart. All right, we're gonna try that. Just loves to pinch at the corners without interfacing. Okay. Ooh. Just small fire, it's okay. All right. Now we're going to trim. So I just trim down, I trim about half of this off. And if you're thinking, oh, I don't think it needs to be trimmed, it'll be fine. Trim it. I promise you. I had that same thought process and trim it. Just trim your seams. In this, where it says to trim, trim. It will help you in the end, I promise. There we go. Okay, those go in the crochet stuffy pile. All right. I'm just waiting for my iron to get warm. I'm trying to decide. Because I don't have a wool pressing mat. I just have a giant cut. I just have this. So I guess we'll just use this. Just move my cup. There we go. Yeah, see, that'll work. That's not awkward at all. But what we're going to do is we're going to press open this side. Let me see if I can get. There we go. And I do recommend using an iron because anytime you press a seam, it does flatten it better. and it does help to create it a thinner moment. Or thinner moment? What was that? Okay. I have water in here. I have enough. So I'm just pressing open that seam. And then this seam. Then I'm going to press this close. So what I do is, you'll see right here, it's already starting to kind of droop a little bit. I just pull up and out when I press it. And then it gives me a nice crisp corner. So I just take my finger and pull up. I give it a little pre-press. All right. Where are you going? Stay. Okay. I know I have a glue stick somewhere. Is this one full? Yeah. Come on. There we go. So then I take my glue stick. And I'm going to go along the edge of the pocket. Oops, Nike's over there. That's going to be fun. And then I'm going to fold this up. And she's got the measurement. I like a glue stick. It dries quicker. And fabric seems to really like it. And it doesn't like push through. Oh, you're welcome, Deborah. I really do try not to. I just need some background noise. Otherwise, as you know, as much trouble as I have with words, it would be so much worse. It'd be so bad. All right. So then I fold it down, make sure that that's where I want it. Okay. So I'm going to fold it down, and then I'm going to kind of use that to measure where I want to fold. There we go. And then I kind of put the glue in the fold a little bit. Anytime you use glue sticks, make sure they are acid free. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sasha. Yep, it is a pride party on my nails. I love them. She put all the colors on all the dots. Love it. And yes, I try to make sure that this works before I give a tip. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, but with your glue sticks, anything that says that it's photo safe, you're good. But you really want to make sure that it is acid free so that it doesn't eventually discolor your because it can discolor your fabric if you're not careful. Okay, glue is being a pain in the butt. That's why we seal it with heat. So I'm just going over these creases. Really have got to get a wool mat. There we go. All right, then you just fold it together. And if you want, which I usually do, I just put like a smear of glue right along that edge. And yeah, this comes out purple, but when it dries clear. I'm just making sure that everything is nice and crisp, that my hand is not getting too close to that steam, because it does hurt. Okay. And that's one card slot ready to go. Now this is going to be longer than your body, and that's fine. With the extra bit here, it definitely is longer. Oh yes, thank you, Cynthia. Yeah. When I first started doing my lives, everybody was like, "Oh, I wish I could rewatch this." I'm like, "I don't know how to do that. I'm sorry. I am still but an old person trying to figure this out." But no, I'm not old. I'm old enough to know that that's a dumb thing to think. But then I figured out how to put them on, that they save on the tubes. So let's do that, you know. Victoria, I'm making the classic zip around wallet. Right now, I'm working on the insides of it. Let me get this other side pressed. I have a cordless iron that I really like. Where'd you go? There you are. But last live, we did the outside of it, so it's all ready. Oh no, I'm so sorry that you were having trouble with it. It is definitely a skill builder. You level up after you get one of these done, that's for sure. Okay, so I've got my pieces. And I can tell one of them, I know I sewed a little, which is why I do 2 inches. That way I have a little bit of wiggle room. Oh, I like Wednesdays and Saturdays too, though, Cynthia. No, I'm kidding. Dad joke, sorry. It can be a tricky wallet. And boy, was I intimidated by this wallet. Here we go. So to do the other side, we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to put my stick glue on the edges as much as I can. A little bit over. And then I'm going to fold up my edges. Cynthia, you'll be so proud of me. I actually took a day off this week, like a full day off. I slept in, mainly because I was up from 1 to 5, being sick. But I slept in. I actually made up for that sleep. We had lunch. And then I played Diablo for like the rest of the afternoon. The only other thing I did was pack orders, but I'm like, I'm going to take a day off. I don't remember when I actually took a full day off. Because usually, even when Aaron's off, I end up working because I want to give him, because he's only got 1 day. He only gets 1 day off, so I like to leave him the hell alone so that he can work on a miniature painting, or he can try to figure out what he's printing, or sometimes he likes to do the yard. It's relaxing to him. I don't know. But I was just so happy to sit and play Diablo because they finally gave us pets. So mad making a bitch pick up her own damn gold. What's wrong with them? But I also saw the announcement that they're doing another extension and they're adding a new class. And it's pretty much the witch doctor, but I'm happy that they're changing that term. Come on, you. Okay, there we go. Sometimes it's hard to. This glue stick's a little bit older, or I'm just not using right. Who knows? All right. Oh, I love this song. Is there ever a song you like and you just cannot understand why you like it, but you do? There's a song called Your Woman by Whitetown, and I love the song. I don't know why. Because it would definitely be, I think it would, sound better coming from a feminine voice. But it's such a good song. But I don't know why I like it so much. Sorry, Tiberius, I didn't mean to hit you. Oh, I'm so glad. Top stitching. I mean, that definitely that's a definite level up. The moment you do top stitching and you look at it and you're like, oh my god, I don't hate this. You level up. It plays the music and everything. Sometimes there's confetti. I think we should always throw confetti for each other. Oh, I like that term. Trying to make a couple of stickers. I've got the one I've got the I'm fine. So I need to get that one done. But there we are. And like I said, believe me, it was really weird not to top stitch these. But now that I don't, it just seems like I've never top stitched them. Oh no. Yeah, it's hard for me to sit still and do anything. Like last night we were watching this movie. My husband picked a movie. And I showed pity on him because I don't blame him, but it wasn't it had the potential to be a really good movie. But for some reason I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what fever dream they were in where they thought this was how they should write a movie. I really liked how they shot it because they shot it on Super 8 camera, so it had that vintagey feel. There we go, feel to it. Weird. But as we're sitting there watching it, I had to find something to do with my hands, so I started weaving in the ends on his cardigan. I'll have to post pictures of it when it's done, one day. All right, so next step, we've got our backdrop, our back of the inside of the wallet, or inside. So she has the measurements in the pattern for it. You do want to check the measurements on your card slots, because if your card slots are taller than 3 inches, then you're going to need to adjust where you put them, because otherwise they'll go too long into the middle. Mine are right at 3 inches, so I'm good. All right, so I'm going to use, I don't know if this one will work. I don't think this is going to work. Where's my other one? So you also want to make sure that you mark your middles, which for some reason I don't have it marked on there. Usually I draw a long bloody line. Okay, where are you at? Well, maybe I do need the white pen. So I'm marking with a removable pen my mid spots because you're going to need this when we install it to the main body. Sometimes I do a mix of two pens. Like sometimes the white doesn't want to like show up as much. So I'll use the white to give it a brighter background and then use another marking. Yeah. The only way I can like sit and crochet is if I'm watching TV. But the funny thing is I have to have something to do while I'm sitting and watching TV. Otherwise, I get lost in my own thoughts, or I get on my phone, and I end up like getting lost in what I'm working on, or what we're watching. There we go. Come on. Fine, we'll go all the way down there. Some material doesn't like this. Okay, there we go. Don't make me get the chalk. I will get the chalk. Screw it. I'm going to get the chalk. Okay. Now I've got my centers marked. Yeah. I've noticed that most creative people can't just sit and do one thing. It's very difficult. Like even just sewing, I can't sit in absolute silence. The worst thing actually is if I'm listening to music, I get very distracted by the music. So I have to have a book in my ear. When I'm batch sewing, I actually have to have my iPad so that I can watch a movie. So weird. But it has to be a movie I've seen before so I don't sit there staring at it instead of sewing. So I have my ruler down. I've got the midpoint of my ruler lined up with the middle so that I can line up my stitching. And then I also use, there we are, right there. Nope. I also use the end pieces. Why does that feel like that's not actually in the middle? That's in the middle. There you go. That's why that didn't feel right. And then I also use the fold where the side piece has been installed to make sure that it's truly in the middle. There we go. And I'm just going to clippity clop this. Ooh, where are you going? Okay. So just like that. And then we're going to do the other side. A couple of clips out. Get my ruler on. If your card slots are taller, then definitely make sure you go less than the measurement she gives you, because otherwise it's going to sit weird. There we go. Those are sitting nice. There we go. Okay. So now we've got both sides on. And then what I do is I fold it. And I make sure that my midpoints, when I put them together, actually match up. because that's going to be important when we're installing it. Oh, doggone it. Puzzle piece. There we go. So I've got those. They're matching up nicely, especially on the top. That's important that your tops match up, because that's how you're going to be placing your accordion pieces. And if they're not done up, it's going to push your wallet to do something like this, where your tops don't match up. See? It's hard to see with the, here we go. There's the top. And that back isn't matching up. So that will happen. So what we're going to do is at 1/8 of an inch, we're going to sew these on. Now, you're like, Liz, can't see the end. Especially because I went bigger. Let me see if it's... even if you do her measurements, you're still going to have a little hang off. So what I do is I just line up my fingers, in this case my nails, against where the outside of the backing is. And that's what I'm going to use to guide me. To guide me through so I can do that 1/8. So we're going to go down 1/8. And I'm pulling a little taunt. And then I'm going to turn here at the bottom. And I'm just going to go right across the bottom. Okay. Then I'm going to go back up the top. Again, you want to make sure that you're not, when you're pulling taunt here, don't pull up, pull out, so that it's still straight. Because again, you want to make sure that that is even with the other side. I need that for a while again. All right, so we're just going to pull that off. Oops. I'm going to have to fiddle a lot with this when I'm installing it. Boy, did this not want to go on right. The other ones went on because, so for this one, I put the tape onto the fabric along the edges instead of going on. On the other ones, I put the tape on the actual stabilizer. Oh, thank you, Deborah. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I found this really nicely priced on Fabric Warehouse Direct. I think it was like $2 a yard or something like that. And I was like, yes, please. Because I love a good broadcloth. And yeah, it matches this one line so nicely. That I'm like, yes, that has to be my card slots. Almost wishing I had done the accordions with it, because I know the accordions are going to be thick, but I think because, oh, you know what? I should change my my top stitch length. That's okay. It wasn't on anything vinyl, so. So I just wanted to make sure that everything is thin. I did one of these with a waterproof canvas, and it was thick. I did not care for it. I really do like using cotton for it. Plus, if you have a customer who is like, oh, I love such and such fandom, I just don't want, everybody to know it. Okay. I mean, I think you should let your your fandom flag fly, but that's, your choice. If you feel that you're going to be in an environment where people can't keep their damn opinions to themselves, then you can do hidden chic geek, outside's a nice simple, and then inside it's like bam, color. I just threw my ruler on the floor. Yep. Oh, Sarah, it's definitely carpet, because this is the one we're working on, but I also have the carpet garden and carpets and castle, aka Dyson Debauchery, and then the newest, where this is hidden carpet, because until you get up close and personal, you can't tell it's carpet. And then, of course, the OG, because without the OG, we would not have all these other pretties. And those are going to be available at Dragon Con. I'll also end up taking orders for them. I need to do that, don't I? I might have to close the shop soon, just in case. All right. So I've got all those pieces. What I'm doing is I'm going through and I'm trimming down these chunks. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of pulling that down just a little bit. I'm letting my scissors slide right in between so that I can cut off just a little bit extra. So it's either right there or it's right before. Plus, you want to make sure that you don't cut the seams or your sides on your backing. Just right behind them. Now, if you cut them larger like I do, you can also use these as zipper tabs. I don't think any of these were, so into the crochet bin they go. Morning, Melissa. Just a second. Oh, yeah. Oh, so how do I reset my goal? Good Lord. What is it, this one? Nope. I don't know how to do that. Nope, I guess we'll figure it out later. I was not prepared. And the thing is with Sarah, with just about all of those designs except the OG, I'm the only place you can get them because I designed them. I've also got Ghostbusters, and which I call Carpet Busters, and then Carpet Trek, which has Badgie from Lower Decks. Lavette, thank you very much. Let me see. What were you trying to do? I don't know what I was trying to do. Oh, okay. So Susie, for this stabilizer, this is Pellon 71. It doesn't have any glue on either side. I like using it most of the time because it gets to be a little more flexible, and I don't have to worry about the fusing, ruining the carpet. The fusing, ruining the. It's just going to sit there and fold in on itself. Because I just used a tacky spray, so it's just a basting spray. So this way, it's not going to wrinkle weird when you look inside the wallet. I did use yellow on last year's carpet royalty line. So this year I used blue because I try to make everything unique. That way nobody has the same exact carpet bag, and it makes you part of a fandom, but still an individual. Let's see. Oh, no problem. I love this wallet. Things go flying. They do indeed ruin the carpet. Oh. I do have ribbons for Dragon Con this year that say all my carpet brings all the cultists to the yard. But next year I might venture out and do I'm here for the carpet, not the drapes, and see how well that goes. I'm so excited. It's my first year doing ribbons. I'm like, all right, by the way, that's your card slots. Those are done. Look at that. I'm telling you, once you really get going, you're just done suddenly. That's taken care of. So now we move on to our dividers. The dividers are fun because she has you doing she says not quite 3/8, but not a quarter. So you're kind of in that middle. Mainly you're trying to get up to that stabilizer. If you're not quite sure what she means by that, then what you can do is do your card. Try that again. Take 2. You can do your zipper pockets and then hold it up and mark where your zipper pockets sit. And then you're going to want to go just above that mark a little bit. And that's mainly so that your pockets are completely covered. However, I haven't had too much trouble. Susie, yes, I do interface the card slots. It bothers me not to completely interface card slots because they're going to get pulled a lot. I do. I do have a card slot video on YouTube, and I use 809 for my interface. Hold, please. Good Lord. I went outside for 5 seconds, so now I'm congested. Summer. Go away, Summer. Okay, so I'm going to go right there. Now, I usually start on the open end, not the folded end, because I find that I don't end up with extra, with weird holes this way. Sarah, thank you. The Carpet Leopard's brand new this year for me, and I was so excited. My husband helped me decide on that one because I wanted to do the carpet and then have the spots. But he said it would be so cool. He thought it would be really neat to have it where you didn't, unless you knew to like look closer at it. And not like hidden carpet, but more just subtle carpet. And I thought that would actually be kind of cool. So I will say a lot of people seem to like the carpet design that have never heard of it. They're like, oh, that looks really cool. I'm like, oh, you have no idea. I'm going to need you to take a moment and Google. Just Google it. I promise you will not be disappointed. If you're like, what is this carpet stuff they keep in? Just Google Dragon Con carpet cult. And you will get all the information, and your life will be a little better for it. So I'm just kind of making sure that these were cut with a little less finesse than they probably should have. I was at the end of what I needed to cut. And sadly, I get a little lazy, but because of the fact that these are sewn and then turned out, they're a little more forgiving. As long as you get the general shape, you're fine. All right, so now I need to do that side. And I'm just, this is another one that if you make sure you cut out the stabilizer right, then you could just follow the stabilizer. Oh, Deborah, I love 809 for my card slots and stuff. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's like if I mention the carpet, people like look at me funny. I'm like, you don't get it. I mean, I had no idea when I started doing Dragon Con how much I was going to end up just being one of the followers. Oh, we'll see how that goes. And the Cult of John has started to go a little bit off the rails as well. Once there's a Facebook group, you know it's going to be one of the cults that stays. And everybody tries to make a cult happen, and I'm like, no. They just happen. They just become. You don't you either discover it or it just props up. Oh, I know next year I'm going to have to do FedEx bags. But I would not give up this convention for the world. I love this convention so much. Even if I stop completely doing conventions because I'm working on everything else, I will still do Dragon Con because I just love it. So I've got them sewn top and bottoms. Let me see. It looks like everybody looks pretty good. I make sure to backstitch really good at the beginning and the end, as always, on both sides of it. And all I'm going to do is cut at what I call a long dip angle at the corners. So it's just a nice long one. So I start about 1/8 of an inch from the stitch and just go out about an inch. Yeah, about an inch. You can trim off more. You just want to make sure that you do those corners really nicely because you're going to want those to be crisp. Oh, speaking of, hang on. There we are. Turn back on the I need to get all these wallets done by this weekend so that Monday I can get the Eda bags done. Because there's something wrong with me. Why did I agree to do those? I changed cups because I changed to water. Yes, Suzanne, I'm vending at Dragon Con. And I'm not going to have helpers this year. Oh no. See, Cynthia definitely has trolls because they maliciously take everything. I blame fairies for everything. But yes, I'm going to have helpers this year, so I'll be able to see even more of the convention. It's hilarious because last year my helpers were like, "Oh, well, do you want to do anything after vendor hall closes?" I was like, "Yeah, I want to go home and put a sandwich on my stomach and eat like an otter and fall asleep. And if I fall asleep with the sandwich, please refrigerate the sandwich. But don't you dare wake me up." I'm usually very, very exhausted after, where is my poking tool? Hang on. I'm usually very exhausted after vending. It is a whirlwind of emotions and people and, well, Cynthia, now they've taken my poking tool, so they must be in cahoots. There we go. Hey, Salty. At Dragon Con, everything that I make, so all of the bags and wallets and stuff, And yeah, that's not making me happy. This do. Plus I do some sublimation stuff. Like I have electricity when I do that convention. So I do what I called freshly baked tumblers, where I can make the tumbler right then and there. No idea the carpet. Okay. When you're poking out your corners, be gentle. I know you don't normally hear me say that. But yeah, Dragon Con is 4 days of just get up and go every day. It is the convention that I don't move on Tuesday. We come home, I park the trailer, I go inside, and I sleep with the cats for a full day. I don't even know if I wake up. I barely wake up to eat. And normally we drive back Monday after vendor hall closes, which is just so much extra tiring. But this year we've got the Airbnb an extra day, so we might drive back Tuesday morning. But this is kind of a working vacation for my husband because he loves doing it too. So cute story with my husband. He's my my booth bunny. But he's not a small man. He's like a little over 6 foot. He's like 6'1". And he's a very tall man, and he's got girth on him, so he's not as chunky as he used to be. So I can't call him Fat Rabbit anymore. So he always, for the longest time when he would do a convention with me, he always felt a little odd going up and talking to some of the people. And it's because I noticed that he felt odd most of the time when he was going up to the teenagers, because he felt like he was being a creep. Suzanne definitely joined the Facebook group, Dragon Con Vendors, because about a week or two before, we'll start getting our assignments, and we'll start spamming to let y'all know where we are. So he feels weird going up to, young ladies and going to talk to them, because we caution our daughters and such to be wary of strange men. Well, in this case, my husband is a strange man. My cousin's always a strange man, but I love that he's a strange man. He's my strange man. But they don't know that. So he's like, I need some kind of uniform or something. So I got some plain white aprons, and I supplemented Chubby Bunny Studios, and underneath it I put Minion. And this way he can hand them cards and stuff when they're looking and talk to them, and they know right away that he is not a random creeper. He's my creeper. But no, he's there to help. He's part of the business and such. And I noticed he seemed to feel a lot better after like the first convention wearing it, which is good, because I don't want him to feel awkward. What are you doing? Go. Right now I'm pressing these, and especially with this fabric, it's a little, like I said, it's a bit of a thicker, it's kind of like a cotton canvas, but it's a waterproof cotton canvas. It just doesn't have that real thick backing. So I'm pressing them real good so they get nice and flat, and so that I knock everything over. There we go. So, and when you turn them out, you want to make sure you get those corners done nicely. So also, when I'm pressing, I'm putting my fingers here to hold that open so that gets nicely pressed. Good morning, Nikki. I hope the Saturday is finding you nicely well. Okay. To do a little bit of extra pressing on these because, like I said, it's a thicker material, but it goes from this to this, so a much better, much more flat. All right, I'm gonna have to add more water on this one. Okay, so we've got those pressed. Stick. Okay, so you should have one pair like this and one pair like this. So you should have two of each side. Saturday's doing well. I even had enough coffee for my coffee this morning. We're trying a cold brewing system, and I will say I really like the taste of the cold brew. It's really, really tasty and much smoother. It's not as acidic. Okay, so you take one pair, you put them upside down. You take the other pair, and you put those right side up on each side of your card slot, completed card slot piece. Really? How did your cap come off? Oh, because there's a little piece here. Okay. So, again, I don't use the liquid glue too much. So I'm going to take some stick glue. Now, you don't have to do this. You do not have to glue it. However, I will say that because I'm using a fraying fabric, I forgot to do that. Ignore this moment. I forgot to do a mark. I always do. Let me fix that real quick because that's bothering me. Where are you at? There you are. Keep this. In just a moment because I got to fiddle with the glue here. That's what I thought. Okay. One moment. Using a fraying fabric, using the glue is going to help keep it from fraying more. Okay, so before you do any gluing, by the way. Whoa. Damn it. There we go. Let me put this lid on. Okay, before you do any gluing, I forgot to do something. You're going to take the side that has the cutout, and you are going to mark on it 3/8. Now, you're going to see on this one, somehow I ended up with like 3/8 exactly cut off. That's okay. It's okay. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. Yes. And if you need the pattern, it is in my bio under today's pattern. But if you see that, 3/8 isn't covered completely with the other side of the fabric. Okay, so see here, you can see my chalk line is right over the right side of this part of the fabric. Whereas my chalk line on this one goes kind of along it on the inside. That's fine. This is going to be folded over. So it's not that big of a deal as long as you're not too much over and you know how far it's in. Like this one definitely is again. You still want to mark it with something that you can see, obviously. And you can use a non-removable marking tool here because you're not going to see this. I'm still just using my chalk because it's right here. And I know it'll mark on this fabric. Oh, it is still a bit of a pain in the butt. Okay. Now, I do this like every time I make a wall. I go, crap, I forgot to mark it. Oh, Deborah, good. You're going to have lots of fun with this. I love this pattern. I really do. All right. So I'm going to put some glue right to that mark. I'm going to move my hair because Madre de Dios, I'm shedding today. Okay. So with that, I'm then going to put it to that mark. So I'm going to line up right here where the card slots end with that mark. That's what I'm saying. Even if it doesn't go, like, even if the mark isn't technically on here, you need to do the mark so that you know how far to go in. You're going to line up your accordion piece with your card slot piece. And I just tuck that under, and then I press, and then I go to the other side. You can use a liquid glue. I was using a liquid glue for a while, but then I found that the stick glue worked just as well here. It's just meant to baste. Now, sometimes it's also best to make sure that your accordion pieces are the same length, they're same height. Because again, these two, this side is going to connect together. And it's going to encase the raw edges of your zipper pocket. Come on. No. Just trying to get it to cooperate. So I'm just lining up those pieces. I'm going just a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Okay. And I'm going to flip this over and press down on my glue on the other side. And I'm going to let that dry for a minute. Well, I question my life choices as of late. Make sure that I have that set up. Because if you let the glue dry a little bit, it's going to help on the next step. Mainly, I'm going to get my zipper pull on my zipper. Nope. What did I do with it? There it is. He printed me a new one. They're durable when dropped, not durable when run over, just so you know. Okay. Here we are. Don't get me wrong. I love the one from Lawrence. I just absolutely adore this one because it's a little bit easier to see. Meow. Sorry, I thought I heard somebody come in. Looks like I have plenty of time for that glue to dry. Come on. If I'm doing a bunch of these, like what I did, like what I'm doing now, I'll mark off on the zipper tape the segments, and then I'll just put all of the zippers, the zipper pulls on at once. What is your Lindy? It's technically a candle lighter, but this is a rechargeable device that I use to zap my threads. It also, as you saw, can close off the ends of zipper tape as well as webbing. It does really nicely on webbing too. It's in my Amazon store, which is in the link tree. It's a tweet zipper pull. That'll be good though. Okay. So I got my zipper pull on. Now I figure these are going to be dry enough that I can flip this over. And here's what I really like to do with the glue stick. So we're going to put some glue here along this edge, and we're going to fold these over. So first I'm going to get and throw on the floor some clips. Is Pappas, which the zapper? The zapper's on Amazon under in my link tree. It's in my recommends wish list. If I throw one more clip on the floor, it'll throw a tantrum. So right here on the edge is where I'm going to use my glue stick, and I'm actually going to slather really thick right on that edge. And what this is going to do is it's going to seal this really, all these threads in really, really nicely. They are called candle lighters. I guess it would light a candle really nicely. Why did I close that? 3 dots. Yay. So this will seal off all the loose threads, especially where you cut off from the card slots. And then I'm just going to pull this over. And I'm going to pinch that. I'm also going to make sure that on the back, it's actually pinched. Because sometimes what happens is this corner here wants to move and not get caught. Yeah, those go on sale randomly, and they're in different colors too. But you do want to make sure that this is nice and tight here because you're trying not to add any thickness. I think the first time I made this with this canvas, I had it all done with this canvas, and it was too thick on these sides. Okay, going in nice and thick. Again, I'm going to push really hard and tug at the same time. Where are you going? You're not going anywhere. Okay. So, because it's really easy to pull at this bottom corner and to tug out that. Oh, no problem. I'm in the process of finding a new soldering. I've got one that I think I'm going to order, but I've already been through 2. And like I said, I will not put something in my list until I'm sure it works well. But if it dies quickly or the battery life is awful, then getting it nice and good with that. Because yeah, you can see the little dent, but we won't show it too long because it does kind of look like something. I'd like to say it's too early on a Saturday, but we all know it's never too early for me. Here we go. Clip. There's a weird thread. Mainly, I'm just wanting to make sure that that bottom piece will get caught by the the stitching down. Speaking of, there we go. Yeah, you don't want to cooperate? What's that? Of course you don't. Fun fact, I get to do this 7 more times. It actually didn't go too bad yesterday. I put on Urban Legends, old early aughts slasher movie, and then started working on everything. I tried listening to a book, and I was enjoying the book. Don't get me wrong. The book was really good. No, you don't. But it was hard to concentrate on the book because my hands were doing the same exact thing 7 times. So I was just like, wait, what? All right. I'm going to move that up a little bit. All right, so here we go. So I've got some glue sitting in there. So now we've got another preview. And here's the fun part. If you don't want a zippered pocket, you don't have to add a zippered pocket. Yes, the thread zapper, that's in my Amazon list. It's a candle lighter, but it is rechargeable and it works nicely on threads, zipper tape, webbing. It works really well on webbing. I'm very happy of how well it works on webbing. But if you don't want to add a zipper pocket and you just want like that, you don't have to do the zipper pocket. Just skip the instructions on that part. It's probably not going to happen until after Dragon Con, but I do have an idea to make a double zippered one. Hey, Mona. Can we find out? Okay, so I do a seam allowance here of 1/4 inch, and that's because I want to make sure I catch all of this on the back to help. Oh no, that's not good. Still don't have power? Well, thank you for using it, some of it to watch me. Okay. I'm using my tweezers to push that under as much as I can. Because I really just want to make sure that I don't have a weird bump there. Let's get down that low again. All right. As I'm going, I'm pulling taut. Okay, so I'm backstitch really well at the top, really well at the bottom. Ugh. Well, I hope it's earlier than noon or at least the time they say. So then the fun thing is what you can do is just pick up your needle and then go right over to the next one and then just continue sewing. Try not to sew over the the tweezers. Okay, so I'm gonna come on. There we go. I'm gonna zap these threads. You can pull them to the back if you want. And then what I'm going to do is clip this mid thread here, my jump stitch. But I'm just clipping the one on top. Then I'm going to go to the back and just kind of yank this a little bit, and it'll pull up those threads and bring them to the back. Come on, maybe. Where are you at? There you are. There we go. Okay. So checking my needle because I know I went through some glue. Really? You little bastard. Come here. There we go. Okay. And then you just don't clip anything here, and that'll keep it from unraveling. Morning, Frida. Oof. That is just no fun. It used to be that I could easily be entertained without power. It's when it gets dark that I start to kind of freak out because I don't like being in the dark without a light source. We have a non-electric light source hidden, or not hidden, but in every room, so that I can just turn on a light when I need it. We have a couple very bright ones because I watched a horror movie with darkness, and he refused to get halogen like sun lamps. Like the baby, he's like, no. I give in to a lot of your horror movie weirdness, but I'm gonna draw the line here. Only because they were like $300, and he was afraid I'd blind him or something. All right, so I'm gonna do the other side. The best thing is the other side will be a little bit more glued, so I can definitely pull that in. I think the seam allowance on this is supposed to be 3/8. Like I said, I do. What are you doing there? This is what I wanted. I do 1/4 because I want to make sure everything is caught. I don't think that was quite caught, but that'll be fine. My biggest concern usually with these is making sure the zipper isn't going to get caught. Oh, there we go. All right, so I'm just singeing off these threads. And then I'm going to cut that jump thread. Yeah, see, so on this side, both these parts were caught in it, but on this side, this isn't quite caught. It's not going to affect the end of the bag too badly, but I am going to try to at least glue it down so that it'll stay underneath everything. Come on. Here you are. There's one. I'll just give this a chance for the glue to dry too, because then next is, did I get that one all right? I did not. You know what? Fine. Okay, so where did my glue stick go? Oh, here it is. I'm like, where did my glue stick go? Yeah, I mean, I get really, really sick now with too much heat. Okay, so I'm just taking a little bit of glue and kind of also going over the threads because that jump thread sometimes wants to pop back out. There we go. But that'll keep it from fraying even more. Sorry, I got yeah. So I've got that glued in, and I'll just make sure that I push it down. There we go. Stay. Okay, so that is our accordion flaps. Whew. Yeah, I know when it's starting to get too warm in the house now because I start to get really suddenly just nauseated. It's just, ugh. Okay, so here's that. Here's that. Just for a day. I had some. Nope. Nope. I know I had some freaking. Hold on. I'm trying to find my dang. Here they are. Yep, that's it. We'll go with that. And I'll figure it out later. I know I collected some pieces for zipper. Okay, so zipper pocket. We need our 2 outside pieces. Again, I go ahead and fold these up. Same with my lining. So I know they match just to start from that. So I also have some tape on there, and I have marked my centers. I have, yeah, there we go. So I have my zipper, my piece of zipper with the zipper pull. And now I have just a second. I'm figuring out what I'm going to need. That's what I'm going to have to do. There we go. Okay. Now for the zipper tabs, I'm going to give you my measurements, mainly because you're going to need it if you're going to do this, the method that I use. Dark eyes can say you were. Okay, so I do about 3.5 inches long. Because this is a very fraying fabric, I'm going to put some glue on the ends. Notice in case you fail to see. So I'm going to put, this is me down on my knees. Okay. So I'm going to put it kind of face down, but overhanging. And then I'm folding this over. And And then I'm going to refold that over. This is what I call a one set of stitches zipper tab. And that's because all I have to do is stitch right over this. And it's, so I only have the one piece. Let me show you again. I'm gonna pick a nice end, and I'm putting glue on it mainly because this is a fraying fabric. So this will keep it from fraying. There you are. Lost my cap. Okay, so I've got the glue end. I'm going to put that up. Sorry, the way this frays it, it's a little annoying. I'm going to have to get a sample pack from my menu so I can figure out if I'm just not saying the right words or what. Okay, so I've got it face down, so they're right sides together. The part that I've glued, or at least, what am I doing? About a ½ inch. So I'm doing about a ½ inch. You can do longer if you want. I'm going to roll that over. Actually, I am going to do a little bit more. There we go. I'm going to put that over that. Press that down. You really only want to do this with a non-fraying fabric. I'm just being stubborn right now. Like, I can make it work. I made these plans. As you can see, it frays unless you do something with it. Honestly, I could pink and shear it, but the glue will do it. So I've got that. Anyways, I watched too many Muppets. And then you're going to hold part of it and then pull it back. So see, so it makes this little S. And then I'm going to clip that. I might have to run and get a bag of trail mix because my stomach just started growling. I don't know what's wrong with it. I've got leftover pizza for lunch, so I'm kind of happy about that. There we go. Yep. I'm making a wallet with it for, so this one's called Carpet Who. I love this. All right, so now I'm just going to sew along those lines, and that's all it'll need. Boop. I'm going to backstitch nicely at that beginning. If your tab is wider than your zipper tape, make sure that you're starting your backstitching when you're actually on the zipper tape. This machine is a NewTek GS0303. Bring this one around. There we go. Come on. Just gonna hold it down. Just really like using some sort of waterproof fabric when I do most of my bags. So this is waterproof. It's just, it feels more like a waterproof canvas than a or waterproof cotton. It's very soft. Don't you catch fire. All right, now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to kind of hold it up, and I'm resting my scissors right next to my zipper and just kind of going straight up. And then I do that right. I do the same thing right on the other side. Then I have a zipper tab. Same here. Making sure that you're not cutting your zipper tape, that all you're doing is resting your scissors up against the zipper itself. There we go. Oop. I moved my trash can. I almost dumped that right on the floor. Those are too small to go into the crochet animals. They clip right through the hole. All right, so we got that. I'm going to move my zipper pull to one side. And I'm going to mark my center. Where are you at? I need to think of a new design for next year's zipper pull, though. I'm thinking of doing something like a dragon wing with the carpet engraved in it. But I really want to find somebody who can do it with color. There we go. This one wasn't bad, but honestly, I will be very, very upfront. It was almost $2,000, and that's because it's also computerized. An industrial machine is definitely an investment, and the only reason we were able to invest in this was we had a windfall of some cash come in. Working on the classic zip around wallet. This is the shell that I'm using that's going to have the innards inside of it. I don't know why I keep calling them innards. Feels weird. So I've got my zipper pocket. I'm going to take the backing off of that. I'm going to line up my centers. Get the tape stuck to my glove. My wrist was bad this last week, but between wearing my glove when I sew and wearing a compression, a really nice compression piece on my wrist itself has been really nice. It has helped a lot. No problem. Always happy to help. And apparently throw clips. So I'm clipping the right sides together. I've made a zipper sandwich. So right side of zipper, wrong side of zipper, right side of lining. I'm sewing at 1/4 inch. I have adjusted the size of the, is that where the zipper is? Really? No. Okay, good. I've adjusted how long this zipper panel, or wide, I guess, tall. There we go. How tall this panel is to adjust for what I use for my seam allowance. So because I use 1/4 inch seam allowance, that means I'm actually losing or adding 1/8 of an inch each side to this. So I have adjusted that measurement. Ooh, where are you going? So that my zipper pocket isn't too tall for the wallet, because I made that mistake. I was like, man, why is this going on? Oh. Like I say, it was easy to figure out, but it was a moment when I did. Okay. You can trim your zipper tabs at this point if you want. I just leave them long just in case, and I'll trim them when they're done. Now, this is a spot where she doesn't have you top stitch, but I still top stitch. There we go. The same sewing machine. You know, you're the first person that has said that they have this same machine. Because like nobody ever knows what this machine is. So it does use the Juki feet, okay, because I've had the thought to get a thinner foot, but I don't know if I really want to. Oh, thank you. I must have missed it. I'm kind of all over the place, and if a lot of questions came in, if I ever miss a question, feel free to ask again. Oh, okay, good. I did get it. So I am lining up the bottoms of this, and I'm going to pull this out. Now I do still top stitch with a zipper pocket. It's just hard for me not to. Without the top stitching, I feel like eventually this could pull up and get caught in the zipper. Cool. Okay. Thank you for that. I think they have a piping foot. So, but I am actually going to wait to top stitch because then I can do it all at once. I did find I liked doing that. So I've got that all clipped out of the way, and I'm going to do the other side. I'm going to take the paper off my tape. Boop. Unleash the paper. Unleash the tape. Kraken tape monster. I literally knitted a Kraken stuffy so that when people made me mad, I could yell, "Release the Kraken," and throw it at them. Listen, I know there's something wrong with me, and I'm okay with it. I think it was $6.99 on sale, or maybe. Oh no, I think they got it like much cheaper than that. Even I'd have to see how much it is right now, because it goes randomly on sale. No, that's not what I wanted. No, come here, you. Oh, okay. Or we could do that. That works too. Just me trying to. I did put in the clips that I use. Back here. I throw around. Love in the first place. And I'm deleting that soldering iron. By the way, the press was on sale. And I did put the boning that I use in there. There's the pens. Where did it go? Did it get kicked out of the dang thing again? Hang on, y'all, because that irritates me that it does that. It did. It kicked it out of the group. I don't know why it keeps kicking it out of my list. Where's my orders? Hands of everything. We never talk about making relationships. Bear with me for one more moment, folks. I'm just trying to put this dang pen back in there. Because like I said, I'm reaching over. I can easily just do this. She was touching her face. Oh, Cynthia, you weren't here. I got a whole 100 needles for the machine. And it came in this little case. It's in the list now. I think they were only like 14 or 15, something like that. Where are you at? There you are. Yeah, right now it's still on sale for $6.99. There's a couple of colors. There's a black and a gold that are on sale for $5.80, $6. So that's not the one I wanted it to. Okay, but now it's back in the list. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Sheeple, hi, welcome to the channel. Yep, plus tax. You got the black one. I think I ended up with the blue because it was the one that was on sale at the time. Apparently I've got super glue on it. Okay, let's see. What time is it? It is already almost 11 o'clock. Goodness, that's okay. We will get this done. And I'm even going to show you how I do the zipper tucking. Okay. There we go. So now I've got the other side on. Sorry about that quick pause. It's just that's the only one that it kicks out of the list for some reason. I must add that in every week. I just want to make sure that it's the one that y'all see me using because it's the one that works, that I haven't had any problems with. I don't care what color. Yeah. That's my thing too. It's like whatever color it wants to be, it's the cheapest one. That's all I care. So I'm having a hard time because I really want to get a new chair, and I found one that has bunny ears on the back, and I'm kind of like, but I need to make sure that it has a high weight tolerance. You never want to get a chair that is only like a weight tolerance that's like maybe 10 or 15 pounds more than you, because it's going to end up wearing down quicker for you. So I'm just pressing back those seams, and then I'm gonna match these up. Oh, okay, that's why. Matching up the bottom seams. It's looking nice, looking nice. And now I'm going to start top stitching on one side and then just go along the bottom. So I'm going to top stitch on one side of it. I'm going to do my best to hold everything nice and steady so that it doesn't get askewed or warped. Come on, you. What are you doing, Tiberius? And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. This way, all I had to do was go in a square. Yeah, see, Deb, I had to add it when you asked too. I think that I'm just probably going to start doing that in the mornings. Ugh, try that again. Just put it as part of my routine. Oh, I'm like, what was I talking about? Where we were adding something ridiculous to the routine. So now I'm going to trim off my wee little tabs so that they match up nicely. I'm actually going to also, it looks like, trim a little bit of my lining there. There we go. Okay. Dropship. This is the New Tech GS0303. It is a walking foot, so it does have both the top and bottom feed through, so it's not just pulling at one side. So now we have this lovely rectangle, and we're going to fold said rectangle. What I like to do is get in on these zipper tabs and match up those seams. Okay. And take a clip and I clip it. And then I just start kind of clipping the bottoms together. Before I get too far, about halfway through, I pause and go back up over here so that I can line those up. I know it seems like Clip-A-Geddon here, but I just like everything to be nicely lined up. Bones and bones? Oh, okay. Okay. There we go. So now you have a pocket. So we're going to start over here. We're going to go down, around this way, and then back up. And that's pretty much it. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I do try. There is some trial and error. Folks that have been here before know that if I'm doing a brand new pattern, I just kind of stare into the void sometimes. Like, it wants me to do what? All right, come on. There you go. Pretty much when you put your interfacing on, that's where you're going to that's where you're going to want to fold over your bottom. Like I said, I do that at the cutting board or when I'm prepping everything, so that I don't have to worry about doing that in this step. I will say, when you don't have to stop and do something like that, it does tend to help everything go quickly. Let's see, just gonna pull those threads. See, there we go. And the nice thing is, y'all are so sweet. So, yep, and everything's sealed inside. And I know some folks worry about, see, the zipper not having a back, or the zipper tab not having a back. But yeah, it does really well. All right, so now we have a zipper pocket. I'm going to put those over there because I will need them. This is where we're going to do a couple of different steps. So we've got that taken care of. I'm going to remove that clip. We're going to put that aside. So on the next step, we're kind of getting close. Y'all are so sweet. Oh, it always makes me feel bad. That's always nice, I will say. That's why when people, oh my God, like in movies, when they're like, you know, I love you. No, motherfucker. Say it. Say it. For the love of God. People need that validation. And there's nothing wrong with it. Someone was like, oh, say I love you till you make it weird. I'm like, no, say I love you till you make it normal. Till your friends expect you to say, okay, bye, I love you. Oh, thank you. Somebody said it reminded them of a clown pride parade. And I'm like, I ain't hating on that. Actually, it is the classic zip around wallet by Maggie55. I do have the link for it in my link tree. Just double checking. Okay, so now we are going to unleash the beast here. Come on. There we go. Look at how that just sits. Oh, I love it. This helps so much with final construction. I wonder if I'll have to ask in the group. I know somebody said that they've used foam core to make one of these, and that's fine. If that's what you want to use it. I mean, I just like rainbows. So I had my husband design one for me. We found a free one, but I didn't like the corners because they were too, like, it was too sharp a corner, and that's where your zipper is. And I'm like, I don't like that. I didn't want it poking out that zipper there. All right, now we need double-sided tape again. I do not recommend using glue on this part. In fact, I think she recommends in the pattern double-sided tape. So I take my tape and I do kind of a bit of a measurement. So where that is, I know that's where I'm going to cut. And then I just cut 5 more strips of the same length. I just put the edge on the table, pull up the other piece. I just let it slide against my finger and then cut that. What do I got there? 5. You're more than welcome to measure them and do them that way. I mean, however you want to get the tape cut the tape. Let's see. Okay. So the first piece I'm going to I put it right over this part. So that kind of gives it an extra piece of sealing. Depending on how long you cut your tape, there is a chance it's going to be a little bit in your seam allowance for putting this on. So you do want to be wary of that. They do make non-stick needles. If you're not 100% sure how your needle is going to take the tape, then just make sure it's out of the seam allowance. Speaking of, and I just every once in a while, like I said, you'll see me kind of do like it's almost like a chin scratch on a cat that I'm just checking the needle. Alrighty, come here, you. I do try to keep away from where the zipper isn't attached. So I make sure that this whole section isn't going to be stuck down. That's going to give you a lot easier time when you're tucking your zipper in at the end, if you have a nice wide area to work with. I'm going to move those back out of the way. I usually do, my first side is usually the one that I want to be the prettiest. So I'm going to push that over. This side. Okay. So I'm going to do that for right now. I'm going to take off the tape, all 3 pieces of tape on the one side that I'm going to be working with. There we go. No, you don't. You're not ready to be stuck yet. So I still have my little mark from my zipper tape here. And I've got my mark here for the middle. I am going to fold down my zipper tape. So I'm folding right sides together because I want this to sit right up or right under that mark. And then I want to make sure that everything's going to sit properly by making sure. So I've only pressed really that first piece. The other pieces are there. They're probably going to be a little stuck. But I'm going to flip over my zipper. And I want to make sure that there's a good clearance. If it is coming up here, where your zipper, where your teeth are lining up with the body exactly, like there's no extra, then you're going to have a problem with it zipping. I'm trying to think of how you would fix that. The only thing I can think of is you would want to take out, that usually means that something's too thick. The only thing I can really think of is that you're going to want to take off these and either trim it out or redo these with a very thin fabric, because that means something here was too thick. And I mean, you can see it's getting there. The first time I made with this fabric, the carpet fabric, I even did it with the card slots. That was too much. I had to just kind of muster through. It still zips and unzips, but I will say it's a teeth clencher when I was putting it together. But yeah, you can, let me see. It also is going to help you to figure out if, like, see, when I push down, that is level. That's not, the zipper's not pushing out. Actually, it is a little bit on that side. So what we're going to do, that means, where are you at? Okay. That means I need to pull it over a little to the side because this is pushing in and this is pushing out. What are the flags for? Flags? I have no idea. Oh, come on. I need you to move and we'll move. Sure, let's just do it that way. Yeah. Move that over just a little bit. There we go. Okay. There we go. That is much better. Okay, so when I slide my hand this way, I don't feel the inside. Oh, the flags. Yeah, these are called accordion. These are be called accordion pieces. And what they do is when it's all put together, they'll keep the wallet from flopping open. They turn into gussets. Yes. I was like, flags? Hey, flags. No problem. I wasn't sure. I call things, I have weird words for some things, but no, flags is, they do kind of look like a flag. Here we go. So flag. All right. So I'm going to pin back these zippers. You really should pin. I'm just going to do it because I'm trying to teach good habits and not, I do this because I've already done 20 of them already. Ow! Oh, that hurt. Sometimes these things shatter in your hand or your finger. And oh my goodness, that hurt. Bad clip. Rude. But you do want to make sure that you pull your zipper back behind it like this. So that it doesn't get pulled weird. So these are going to, this style, the ones I'm making now are going to be available at Dragon Con, but I will be taking waitlist orders. So if you want to be on the waitlist, it'll just be a deposit for our custom. And then once I'm done with Dragon Con, then I'll be going through the paid custom waitlist and then the custom waitlist. That way I can get everybody's request, but there's just no way right now that I can do any customs. Where are you at? Okay, so what I'm trying to do right now, there you are. Is that it? Is that it? I'm very particular about making sure I actually go in the hole. Okay. I believe on, get in there. I believe on the pattern, she doesn't have you do the second stitch, faux stitch. I do because it bothers me not to have it there. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to pull my zipper up because I don't want it caught weird. Get my handy dandy tool here. I'm going to, listen to my knee pop. I'm going to stitch once, back stitch, because I back stitch here. It's a construction stitch. I don't want this coming undone. You want to make sure that the accordion wings, flags, whatever you want to call these, are inside. This right here. Yeah, my name tag. Oh, I heard about this one. Oh, wait till you see it finished. They're so pretty when they're done. So I'm going at a 1/4 inch away. So 1/8 of an inch from your stitch, from your previous stitches. I was wondering when I did the other ones, why we don't start with a 1/4 and then go to 1/8. And I guess it's just to make sure that you really catch that lining, because you don't want it to not catch. There we go. Okay, so I stitched all the way back around to my false stitches to this line here. I did both of those at the same time in the last video. Yeah. I think the gold just really goes nicely with the carpet. I'll take those off, put those aside. I am going to pull my stitches to the back here. And then I'm going to burn them down. Because if I'm going to accidentally singe something, I want it to be singed on the inside where it's not going to be seen. Come on. Okay. So sometimes I have a little trouble getting that. Or I could just, there we are. No. Come on, I know that's you. Sometimes these threads, there they are. Okay. Just making sure. Sometimes I feel like, I'm like, yay, I got it pulled through. And then I'm like, nope. It fooled me. It fooled me. Okay. So I have found that when you go in at a thread, if you do this and then pull up a little bit, it'll actually it'll help it singe further down so that you can press it into the fabric. That way it's definitely not coming out. You just have to be careful that you don't get too close. Yeah, see, I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Maybe it's really hard to see. You can just barely see them. Guess what? Of course that bothers me. So that's when you'll see me kind of doing this. Because it's emitting some heat there. Yeah, stomach pizza soon. You'll be fine. All right. The other thing you want to do is make sure that it actually caught everything. That's also why I do a 1/4 inch. You can do if you do 3/8, you should end up stitching right over your stitches again. I just don't think you're really going to see it that much. Excuse me. I also don't like over stitching on something. Oh, no problem. Let's see. This one, I believe, is from Wawak. Yeah, this one's a Mon. This is a Tech 70. And then my needle is a size 19. Okay. Oh, that feels so nice. Okay. Yes. It's really not a bad idea when you're placing your inside in to take a moment. You saw me kind of pull at it and scooch it around a little bit. And that is because now this should zip around really nicely, because when I run my hands over this, if I'm not pushing in, I do not feel that inside. And that's what you really want. All right. Ah. Mm-hmm. Nope. Come on. There we go. All right. Oh, here comes the fun part. So, scratch my nose. So push that back out. You also have to make sure that things didn't get shifted. So there should be a little bit of space. If you lay this flat, it should not match up. And that's because you need that space for it to fold. Yeah, Wowak is good. I've got a couple of colors from Saya. I like her thread as well. Oh, the dream. The dream is to get variegated thread made with these colors, because I have a problem. And it's that I don't have carpet themed thread. Oh, God, I got to find somebody to do it. Oh, okay. Next year. So what I'm doing is making sure. There we go. This is where, yeah, you definitely want to make sure that things are set properly, so that, oh God, that's perfect. Because after you sew it on, it's very difficult to fix it. Let's see. It's a little far to that side. Height is right. Okay. So, and what I do before I move it, I look at my midpoints and like, honestly, I could have been over just a smidge. There we go. You're also really wanting to, if you can, you want to cover these threads where you stitched your zipper on to begin with. However, if it doesn't cover, nobody's going to see it. I promise you. The wallet I use, you probably could, if you flipped it open and actually looked for it, see them. But it's not that big of a deal. Okay, why does it feel like that's crooked? That's been cool. Oh, I know why. Because it is. Oh. Or it could be my eyes. Sometimes my eyes make things crooked when they're not. Yeah, it's not crooked. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, so full honesty. Love the transparency that you can get with me. This is crooked. This is not the same space here as it is down here. But it is on the tops. The tops are what matter for this. So if you're putting them down and your tops look beautiful and they're straight, and then you go down here and it's a bit of a train wreck, ignore the train wreck. It's fine. It doesn't exist. Because when you close it, you're not even going to see that. But you are going to see those tops. And because you're using the tops as placement for your wings, you need to make sure your tops are tops. But that's why I'm like, why does that look crooked? Okay, because it is. For the first time in a week, it actually is. And it's not just me having a fever dream. So I've got that set. What I'm going to do, okay, again, I'm going to make sure that y'all get some good habits. I'm going to fold my zipper back on the side that's already sewn. I'm going to take this zipper And I'm actually going to pull it a little tight so it curves. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. And then I'm going to pull up a little bit. Because I was like, why isn't it doing what? Oh, okay, because I haven't done that stuff. Then I'm going to go in between the main. Right, there you are. I was like, what the hell? In between the layers, and I'm going to push its bottom up like this, and then to the back. So it's not laying flat. It's got that bump. That's what you want. Make sure that's sitting nice. Alrighty, come on, you. No, under there. All right. This side can be a little bit more challenging, but it's not too bad. Just take your time. Okay. I'm going to pull my zipper up. So the only part where there's a lot of thickness is this part, because you're going through a lot of stuff. You're going through your exterior, you're going through the lining, you're going through your card slots, you're going through the wings. I don't know if it would work as well if you didn't have the wings under the needle. I am not sure on that. I have thought about it, about trying that out. However, everything goes so well. It's just everything. It's a very well put together pattern. I'd hate to do anything that would mess it up. I really don't think it would work, because I believe then, you know what? I know it wouldn't work, because there is a pattern by Blue Calla. It's a like a bowler bag. And I tried it once because I was on domestics at that time. And I tried it once by having the wings pulled out, and it didn't work as well because the wings wanted to pull out more. This gives it a more stability. So I don't think it would work really. I'm pulling my threads to the back. So that, oh, I already did that side. Don't mind me. I was lost in a conundrum. There we go. All right. So now this is where I am going to get the liquid glue out. It's just because I like having a little bit of extra stability when it comes to the wall, to the pocket. So there's a preview. But we're not putting our zipper pull on yet. I'll leave that sucker off until the very end, but that's a me thing. Oh, I just don't like fighting with a zipper if I can help it. Okay, so we're going to, she does have you glue these together. I don't, mainly because we're just going to do a 1/8 top stitching them together. If they don't quite, like if one's a little tall, okay, so this one of them's a smidge taller, like not even an 1/8. Match up your tops, because you're not going to see this down here, and you're going to have, it's going to work out better if you match up your tops. I've split the difference before. Don't do that. Don't do that. because the way the zipper pocket is put in, and you know me, I'm like, oh yeah, there's always more than one way to do something. Don't do that though. Don't do it. Yes, I have a manufacturer that I go through for this waterproof canvas. Well, these were a little bit too. Normally I'll line them all up and make sure that the ones that match the best go together, but apparently I was just in my own head. That's okay. But I actually have a design that a friend did for me that I've been thinking of using for the inside of all of my bags. Because, you know, Marc Jacobs can do it. Why can't I? Have my own, oh God, stop it. Sorry, my head just started throwing ideas at me and I'm like, no, stop it. What is wrong with you? Why won't you leave me alone? I don't need more ideas. I will poke you with a Q-tip if you don't leave me alone. So we're sewing these at 1/8 of an inch. Do the 1/8 of an inch. You're going to want to do more because you're like, oh, this 1/8 of an inch is never going to keep it together. This is not its final form. It's fine. Thank you. I love it. It's if you look up Dragon Con Marriott carpet, you'll be welcomed into a whole new world of WTF. Awesome. I love it. It's almost Captain Marvel colors. Stop it, brain. I need you to stop that. We're not doing that right now. Now, you do want to make sure that you're back stitching really good at the top and the bottom, of course. And like I said, it is so tempting to sit there and go, well, maybe I can do just a little bit more. Just give it a little extra strength. It's not going to need it. I promise you. It is not its final form. We still have one other thing to do. Okay. Called Dragon. Yeah. It is an amazing WTF called Dragon Con for sure. Alrighty. So now we just need our pocket. We're almost done, y'all. When you get to this point, you see the finish line. I promise you, it is going to be good. I guess that's my thing today, is promising. So, don't do this. I'm a terrible person for this part. The holding the cap in my mouth. It's don't do that. I've lost caps. Thankfully, not by swallowing them. So I'm just gonna put that down there. So I've got my wings popped out a little bit. I'm going to put a line of glue. Yeah, this one. And depending on which manner you want it to go, I am going to then push the wings out as I'm pushing. Or not. Madre de Dios. There we go. I've got a thread that is now covered in glue, so I don't want to try to clip it. So I go through this little hole here to kind of help situate everything. There we go. That feels good there. Okay, I'm just making sure that everything's pushed against, that it's tucked in there nice and neatly. Okay, you see? Now, you can wait for the glue to dry if you want. We all know that's not going to happen right now. Yes, it is easier to sew the first one if you don't have both of them clipped. And when I do the batches, when I go to the batches, I'll start by gluing one side and just do all 7 of them and then go back and sew that one. Where are you going, little droplet of glue? Nowhere. If you're going to do this way, where you're setting up both at once, you're going to want to make sure you clip it well on the other side, because you're going to be pulling at that. Yeah, like that. Oh, mainly, I'm just trying to find the bottom of this. There it goes. There you go. Just trying to make sure that it actually sits in there. There we go. Okay. And that is how it will sit. And so, yeah, you want to make sure that everything's the same level. This is a good time to take a drink. Oh, that's good stuff. I have that Mio energy stuff because I go through phases where the taste of water is terrible. Most of the time, I love water. I drink a lot of it. I'm a trained pastry chef, so I've been in kitchens, and when you're cooking on the line, you could be dehydrated within minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and you can already start going downhill, and it's not fun. It is not fun to be dehydrated. And it's because it's very hot back there. So I would just keep, like, those things that, the containers that you get, like egg drop soup in. Egg drop soup. I want egg drop soup. I would keep one of those full next to me, and every probably 15 to 20 minutes, I was refilling it. Which one of my sous chef taught me a trick. He says, if you fill it halfway with ice, it'll slow you down, because if you drink water too fast and too much, then you get sick. That's what it is. Everything in moderation, even water. But there are just some days when I don't like the taste of the water. Usually it means I need to change the filter out of our pitcher, because it's not doing its job. And I will tell you, Georgia water is not great. It's slightly better than Florida water. But that's like saying you want to step over a painted line instead of stepping on it. Here we go. So let's see. Just making sure that this side is actually in there. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to push one side and then pull on the other. And what we are going to do is we are going to do a 1/4 inch from that 1/8. So that will give us a 3/8 seam allowance. Huh. Are the nerds to help you? She drinks the strawberry. Yeah, I really like the Mio. I'll have the black cherries. Also, if my iced tea is tasting old, I'll throw some of the Mio in there, which is hilarious because I'm not really a big sweet tea fan, but I don't want to waste the tea. Okay, come on, you. I don't think I usually do both at the same time. Come on, sizzle down. Don't catch fire. There we go. Excuse me, goodness. All right, so there's one side. And see, that's all sealed. The glue is nice because it means that any of that raw edge of the zipper isn't going to come undone. It just gives a little bit extra stability. Yeah, sometimes it's just, I just want flavor. And thankfully my husband agrees with me on this, but like some folks are like, oh, just drink water, it doesn't have any flavor. No, it has a flavor, it really does. And sometimes that flavor is not what you want, but that doesn't mean that I go and get a can of Coke instead. Well, first of all, I don't like Coke. I'm not a big fan of caramel sodas. Come on, there we go. Sometimes it's hard getting up that hill. Come on, let go. There we go. Be careful. Get those clips out of the way. All right. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Okay. So now you can kind of tuck that in. By the way, this is not a wallet to use a large zipper pull on the inside, because you're going to want to remember that this has to close. And if you use a big zipper pull inside, it is going to make it sit weird. Alrighty, so let's get the zipper on, a zipper pull on the outside, and then I'll show you how I do the zipper finish. Okay, so I use one zipper pull. You can use two if you like. But again, this is already a costly wallet, so I try not to add too much price to it. Oh, yeah, that is. I will have to remember that. Oh, that's better. Okay. Part of the one of the wings wasn't folded in. It was kind of like that, so it really was just being a pain in the butt. There we go. And here we are. Hang on. So let me get the zipper pull on. So first, I put the zipper pull on it. I'm trying to make sure that I line up those marks. No, come on. There we go. Yep. Give a little squish, a little bit of love. So the curves are always going to be the biggest problem for most folks. And like I said, just when you're putting your zipper on, just make sure you're not going over the line that you draw, and that the line is actually only a 1/4 inch away from it. All right, so that's the first part about it. Now we need to put the zipper pull on again. So this way. This is another reason why I have the zipper so long. It's a little bit easier to put it on when you're not fighting with it and the wallet. All right, there we go. Double check and make sure that, ooh, that does not feel, all right, hang on. Oh. Even over there, come on. Okay, let's try that again. But that is going to match it. That matches there. Sorry, I'm particular. I want to make sure that my sides line up, which they don't. Hang on. Okay, try that again. My apologies. It's just... that's why I have these lines marked. There we are. Okay. Yes. Yes. And yes. Okay. Sorry. There's a couple of spots I want to make sure that they line up. And also rub its bottom a little bit. Nice and smooth. Good boy. Okay. So I pull... she has you put it on and then just kind of put these together. It seems not as... it doesn't seem as easy. Okay, it doesn't... it seems silly to do that when you could just put the... I like my zipper closed. So what I like to do is make sure that it's closed on both sides because I find it creates less problem. Okay, I need you to sit up though. Stay. Nope. Nope. There it is. Perfect. Okay. So when I put on my zipper pull the second time, or fourth time, who's counting, I put it straight in the middle. This way both ends are closed and it's going to be... you're going to have less trouble putting your zipper together. All right. Don't you fall. Thank you. Okay. I do have my zipper too long. So let's see. Because right now my zipper has an overhang of like 3.5 inches. So what was I thinking there? Yeah, so I take about 1 inch off, which should leave me about 2.5 inches. I don't like having to use up a lot of extra tape, so I don't go overboard. But I do want to make sure that there's enough zipper tape in the wallet to keep it from pulling out at any point. All right, so I'm making sure to singe really nicely the edge of that. Now we are ready for the final construction. I use double-sided tape. I've got some E6000 that hopefully is still good in there. And then I have some long-nosed pliers. Put, just a little bit different. There we go. Since I'm not really on the sewing machine itself. Okay. Just making sure it feels right because I haven't done the other 7 innards. I don't know what the world I'm saying anymore. So I want to make sure that it works because I still have a chance to fix things if I don't like how the gusset feels. That is a thought process because that gusset feels so thick, but it's actually in there. The other one I did, you could see the difference. So, okay. I think there's not much I can do at this point. It's kind of done. So, I'm going to take some double-sided tape. Where are you at? There we are. They're about 1.5 inch piece. I'm going to put one here. Oop. No, 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 no. Come back here. All right, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. Oh, I'm going to need, is this the one? Yes. Where are you going? Stay. An inch to an inch and a half is plenty of tape, because this is just to get it shaped the way we want it for stuffing purposes. Okay, so I have my tape. I'm going to make sure that I'm kind of pushing up with my thumb in there. There we go. So that it's got this curving now, because that's what you want. You want it to curve. So I'm going to take off the piece from the right side. You can do left, whichever side is your dominant. I'm going to fold this in to the line that the teeth have. Okay. You see that line right there? That's where I'm trying to fold that to. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So see, it's still. Okay. Now comes the fun part. Now we get to play with glue. I'm going to do it on the other side so that I can just go straight to glue. And mainly what I'm doing is just kind of creating the same width that the zipper tape is. And the reason I'm doing that, she has you fold it over so that it's like way thinner. And that's to help you stuff it in there if you're using a smaller hole. But my stitches, I have this whole half moon here to work with. All right, so let me get this out of the way. This also means I can put the tape away. Have less things to accidentally glue myself to. All right. My cap is kind of broken. It's got a big old crack in it. So I put this over in hopes of saving the glue. Still get this plug. Come on. I don't want to have to go get more glue because I've got the other 10 wallets that I still need to do, because I usually do this part while watching TV. There we go. Okay. Oops, Nikes. That was still mostly plug. Alrighty. So while that's kind of starting to settle out. All right, so you have a cave here. This goes all the way into the wallet. What we are going to do is pull back that. And then we are going to take, that's why I have these nice long ones. I'm trying to remember where I got them. I'm going to see if there's an equivalent on Amazon that I like. But I'm going to start by pulling down the exterior. And then I'm going to jam my needle nose pliers in between the lining and the outside. We're going to create a cave. I'm going to create a nice little comfortable home for our zipper. Okay. So it's very difficult to see, but I have it in between these two. Sorry, my nose just started itching again. Okay. I'm just making sure that that's going to work. Then I'm going to take, that's why I like that I have a couple of these now. I'm going to take a droplet of the glue. And I'm just going to smear it right into the top. Then I'm going to take another droplet and I'm going to smear it on the bottom of my zipper. Set that aside. Hopefully that's still open. And then I'm going to start pushing the zipper in. And then I'm going to take these, the pliers, and I'm going to start shoving that all the way in. And I am going to overstuff it because I don't want to bump. So right now you can see, there we go. Right now you can see there's a bump here. So that means it needs to be just a little bit more in there. So I'm going to try to gently pull up the zipper. Okay, that's glue. If you're working with this glue, you want to make sure that you wipe off any extra because that is going to cure. But I like this glue because it has a long curing time. So you get to kind of work with it for a few minutes. I don't know if that's a bubble of glue or just a bubble. Okay, so I'm going to take my nails. You can take a rounded item and just go along the tape itself, not the teeth, and just push. Because you want to kind of pull out the pieces. Is that okay? Yeah, that's okay. And now you can see that there's still a tiny little bubble. I'm okay with that. I don't think that's going to be too bothersome. I'm just kind of feeling where that zipper is. Okay. So that's one side. Now, if you have issues with the confidence, you can always kind of open it and peek in to make sure that you went between your layers and not over your layers. That's why you kind of want a good light source. There we go. When you're doing this, so that you know you got, you can kiss my ass, you little butt, that you got in between. Here we go. Come on. There we go. Get in there. All right. Okay, you are a bubble. It blew itself a little bubble. Come on. Like Scooby-Doo. Okay. Side is being a little bit of a butt, but that's not. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just taking these little drops of glue and just smearing it. If when you're pushing it in, you feel any resistance, you might not be in between. There we go. And I'm trying to push from both sides, like switch sides as I'm pushing, so that I'm not bunching the tape up in one spot. There you go. There you are. There we are. Oh, that one's nice. As long as it doesn't look like it's going up and down, then you're fine. Like that's going pretty straight. It goes down just a smidge. I'm okay with that. Because sadly, I think I'm going to have to go through and recut the divider pieces. I'm going to have to decide on that. Oh, that works. There we go. Thank you, Cynthia. Yes, either Tool Shop and his or Harbor Freight. But make sure the ones you get have a spring here so that it opens back out. Because I had a pair that doesn't have that spring, and I will tell you, the words and curses I have created would make good horror movies for at least a decade. I am very displeased with those. But that is it. It is done. Now, the best thing I can tell you too, if you're using heavy duty glue like that, to leave it alone. Do not go opening this up. Leave it be for at least 24 hours. That will help the glue to completely cure without any problems. We could have trimmed it down just a little bit more, but mainly what I look for is to make sure that I can't see it through the vinyl and that. But I'm very happy with it. I think it looks so adorable. And now I have 7 more to go. Yay! Now, next week, I do have this custom order I was going to do real quick, but I think I'll save it for next week. Oh, you are not staying down, are you? Little fuckers. But this is the congoer. Thank you, Annie. This is the congoer. So it's a lanyard with a little tiny zipper pocket. It has card slots, as well as on the other side, a place to hold your badge. And of course, a clip to keep everything from falling out. And then I put an extra piece with a swivel clip of some sort so that it can be clipped onto anything. Yep, it's called the congoer. It's from Beauty and Geek, but I will go ahead and do that next week. It's for a customer who I know really wanted one, and she missed out on the pre-order before, and I forgot to open one up. So I'm like, you know what? I will sneak you in. That is not a problem. So I've got everything cut for it. So we will do that next week. So Wednesday, because today is Saturday, and that'll actually free me up to get those done and not worry about what I need to cut. And then I need to start on Eda bags and Twilight bags. Thank you. I love that print. It is one of my favorites that I've done. Those flowers were fun. So cannot wait to get those done. Boop. Get that there. All right. Well, I'm going to go get some lunch because I'm hungry. I am a hungry panda. I need to be fed. But I will see y'all all Wednesday. I'll try to keep doing little videos when I can. It's been a little bit easier to get some done. I'll get this off. I don't want to get pizza on it. Woo! By the way, that's how tight, you know, these how much compression they get, because I do get a little mark. That's mainly from wearing it too long, not because it's too tight. It just has a thick seam. Okay. And one day I'll find the other one, but at least I have one for this wrist. All right, so goodbye to the gram, maybe. There we go. Boop. And goodbye to the clock app. Appreciate y'all always. I hope your Saturday goes well. And Cynthia, I hope work goes quickly. Y'all have a good one. Maybe. I want to eat. There we go. All right. And the U of the tube. Thank you, anybody who stopped in, stayed around. Let me see if I can get my mouse to sit. Let me see if I can get. Boop. There we go. You know, be nice if I had a mouse that worked. But I will see y'all later. Have a good time.